Oh, a big win for us. This has been can you guys hear me okay? Big win for us. This has been a tough season. The first thing I told them in the locker room was, who thought we were going to play 11 games this year? We were one of the few teams in the country that actually stayed on schedule. The only game that was changed had nothing to do with us. And I'm going to use it in recruiting, that we got really good young men, good people surrounding them in our program, and it allowed us to play 11 ball games this year. So I think that's indicative of the type of people we have in our program and the culture that we have here. There's been some ups and downs this year. Obviously, we wish our record was a lot better than what it was, but qualifying for a bowl game, first time in school history, we're excited about that. Getting an opportunity to play again, we're excited about that, and this was a big win today. Memphis has got a very storied program, and it was good to get them in here and get this win. Anybody got anything?
Will Hall's last game with you, nice way for him to go out and deal 5 touchdowns, balance the whole package today on that.
Yeah, I thought Will called a great game. I thought he did a super job managing the clock there at the end. I always talk about this with coordinators. There's not a whole lot of guys that can play fast and slow. I thought we did a good job of mixing up our tempos throughout the game. I thought Michael Pratt had just a super game, making great decisions. The quarterback's involved in every single play, and there's less than a handful in there that we'd probably like to have back with him. So I thought he played a super game, and he's a tough kid now. I tell you, he takes some hits. He knows the difference between getting out of bounds. He's getting better at that. Early in the year, I was talking to him about first down, touchdown, get down, and he was not doing the get down very good. But there was a few times today he did a nice job of that. And we don't have a few drops. He throws for over 300 yards, and he's probably about 80%, 85% completion percentage. So a couple really big throws early. That was a beautiful right in the bucket throw to Deuce for a touchdown, and a beautiful throw to Jaquan early in the game too. So very, very, quarterback plays well. You got a chance to play really good on offense.
Hey, Coach, what does that say about him? You look at back how the Tulsa game ended, and he's just able to, brush it off and bounce back.
Well, he's tough. He's just, and that really wore on him. I think he made the comment, if one more person tells me keep my head up, I'm going to hit him in the head. He didn't like everybody trying to come and talk to him about it and stuff, So he's very competitive. I thought he did a tremendous job bouncing back. One of the things I talked about earlier in the week, he did not practice one day for the Tulsa game. He just showed up and played on Thursday. I mean, he was out there on the field and kind of walking around a little bit, but that takes something for a guy not to play on a short week, and then coming out and playing like he did, and but he was full speed this week.
The fact that you're able to develop a guy like that from within the program, how important is that as a sales pitch that you're able to develop from within like that at that position?
Well, it's something that you want to have the reputation of being able to do at all positions, such as a Cam Sample and a Patrick Johnson and Stephon Hutterson and Michael Pratt. We talk about recruiting, bona fide student athletes with character. We talk about retaining them by having a culture that they can thrive and grow in, and then we talk about developing them as students, as people, and also as football players. And those guys are some examples of developing them, over the years. I remember Cam. I looked out at the field, and he's going against, I think the guy was like the 4th pick of the draft for Ohio State. And I think he was a freshman or a sophomore or something like that. And then some of these guys going against these behemoths at Oklahoma when we played them a few years back. And these guys were, 18 years old and barely shaven, and they're playing against these 22-year-old guys. So I think, that helps in their development going against great competition like that.
Coach, any thought, I think it was about 11 minutes left in the game, and you had the fumble that you ran in for a touchdown, and they called it an incomplete pass. Could you have called a timeout and asked them to look at that, and did you consider it there, or what was the thinking there?
What happens is those guys will tell you on the sideline whether or not, Coach, we already looked at it, and it definitely was a fumble. They're trying to help you save timeouts. So hopefully when I watch it, they weren't BSing me on it. But so when they tell me that, I generally don't call a timeout. And I correct.
It didn't look like it at all on the replay.
That's a tough thing when you're playing. This was one of our first games when we were ESPN Plus or 3, where you don't have maybe the technology that you have when you're playing ESPN and ABC. You don't have all the views that you have at other games that you might have. But
Defense came up with a lot of short yardage stops, a big fourth down early in the game, a little stuck Memphis' running game. Was that the plan going in?
yeah, you always want to try to make a team that you play one-dimensional. And I thought, against the run, they started running inside zone, had a little bit of success with it in the second half. I'm sorry, the end of the first half, and it was just inside zone, and they hit about 4 or 5 of them, and then we kind of shored up that at halftime, and they were trying to run the stretch play. They had no success running the stretch at all. So I thought the defense played the run extremely well.
I feel like this is a better completed performance that the team has had for 4 quarters.
Probably was. I can't think of all of them right now, but it probably was.
Corey Dublin had to miss the kick of his career today. One, how disappointing, how frustrating was that for him, and also, do you feel like there's a chance he might come back next year?
I'm going to talk to all the seniors this next week and see what they're going to do. I want them to do what's best for them, and there's a bunch of them we'd love to have come back, but that's their life, and they need to make that decision. But it was devastating to Corey. He's started 49 straight games, and something neat though is Coach Dawson always speaks to our guys on Friday night, and he does a devotional with them, and he showed a really inspiring video, and he was talking about finishing, and at the very end, Corey got on Dublin, and he'd recorded about finishing, and I want to play another game this year, and having the chance to get back out there with you guys, and I thought that was pretty neat.
Coach, did you coach against, I know we're kind of doubling back to something, but did you coach against a Tulsa hangover the last 2 weeks, or was that just old news once and after?
No, I get over, my AD's sitting right here, and he knows how quickly I get over those type of losses, right? I'm being sarcastic. It takes me a little while. You put everything into this deal, and you want to have the right outcome. And that was a devastating loss for all of us, players, coaches, managers, trainers, administration, fans, But, you got to move on. And we moved on. I thought we had a really good week of practice. I thought it was showed a lot of maturity with our guys. They've really love old Coach Hall, and all that was going on. We make that announcement on Wednesday. One of the things I did, I got all the seniors up there, and I said, a lot of these guys, it's their last ball game here as well, and they handle it like adults. They really did, and unfortunately, that's part of this profession. You get to know people and feel affection for them, and then they kind of move on, and that happens with the seniors too. They move on, and there's a bunch of dudes that have played for me here that, heck, you wish they had a 10-year career instead of just a 4-year career. But that's how it is in collegiate athletics.